Hey, good morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rayner. Friday, October 31st. Blah, blah. It's Halloween. We have the spooky Ashley Moseley with us today.
That's right.
You're very spooky.
I am.
Do you like that song, Spooky?
Yeah, love it.
Spooky kind of girl?
Classics 4, yeah.
I know, man. Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of Halloween stuff. I'm doing the music at Southwest tonight. You know, we do it for the games.
Yep.
I've already got a selection. Of course, Thriller, Superstition, Witchy Woman, Spooky, and the Monster Mash. By as Hollywood backed me up the other day, Bobby Boris Pickett.
Good job, Chris.
I know that. I was
Yeah.
digging from the old, what would you say, 50s or 60s?
That's late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, somewhere along in there. But it's a classic. Speaking of classics, we have Greg Cooper with us today. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for being with us today, Greg.
Thank you.
Jacksonville Cardinal quarterback extraordinaire.
How about that?
Legend, Jacksonville Cardinal legend. Dude, you were quarterback at a very good time in Cardinal history.
Pretty good time to be a Cardinal. With Ray Durham just coming into town. We had some good athletes back in the day.
And this year, the Cardinals are rolling conference champions this year. Congratulations to the Jacksonville Cardinals. We're going to talk about some of your stuff, some of your interactions with Coach Durham, things like that. Some Ray Durham stories. He always tells stories on you guys. This is your chance to get some back. So we're going to talk about that as we get going. Let me thank our sponsors before we get too deep into it. We want to thank our fine sponsors here on Sports Talk, National Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram, the losses of John Drew Warlick. And I want to thank Bob Warlick for the best sweatshirt I believe I've ever worn, or the most comfortable sweatshirt I've ever worn. He gave us some the other day. Good stuff. I'll see if he can bring some for you guys.
Yeah, good.
They're good hoodies. Express Printing, Myron Cross, Golden Corral, Billy Sewell, Bayshore Animal Hospital in Swansboro, CNS Paint, Ron Choate and Victor Case, Bradley's Jewelers, Rock Creek Golf and Country Club, Superior Metal Structures and Concrete there in Beulahville, Jones Onzo EMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, Downey's Heating and Air Conditioning, Hampton Hadley Chiropractic. I feel like I need them today on my back. Jones LP Gas there in Verona, Southern Touch Painting, Fountain Management, Miss Sandra Fountain, Onzo County Motor Company, Ben Beasley and the gang, Lane Associates Family Dentistry, Bartley Insurance Services, of course, Bill Mercer, and Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning. Thank you to those fine sponsors. We have a couple of segments, too. We have our racing report. It's powered by Onzo County, actually fueled by Onzo County Motor Company and Ben Beasley. Our Hurricane Watch is powered by Downey's Heating and Air Conditioning. And then Helen's Kitchen and Billy Grist, we want to thank them so much for keeping us well fed. You can look at me and tell that Billy's been feeding us pretty well. Ashley, today, in honor of you being here, BLTs.
Also, I'd like to thank Brad and Susan at Bradley's Jewelers for the nice gift that they gave the homecoming queen last night at halftime, presented by Chris Hollywood Man.
They do that every year. That's so awesome, isn't it?
It's really
that is
nice.
so cool.
It really is.
Just makes being homecoming queen even better.
Right.
If it's not the pinnacle of your high school career,
Right.
It just got better with that jewelry. You can catch our podcast and relive today's shows and years of Sports Talk episodes. And the Sports Talk experience available on your YouTube channel. WSME Radio is the link there. You can also connect with us on Facebook at Freedom 971 WSME, online WSME971.com, and of course our studio hotline is 910-346-2248. Without any further ado, let's jump in with Greg Cooper, or as Ray Durham would say, Greg Cupper.
Cupper.
Yeah, Cupper. Quarterback for the Jacksonville Cardinals back in the couple of years right there before you basically did what I called the 99 team at Southwest. Y'all paved the road. And then, you got to get there first a lot of times before the state championship can happen. Now, what were the years that you actually were at Jacksonville High School?
80 and 81, graduated. Well, that was the 2 years I played. I guess the story goes that I wasn't even going to play high school football, and I thought I was going to be a basketball player. So it wasn't until Ray Durham came into town, and he made a visit to my home and made my dad aware that he was going to play, that I was going to play football as well. So he kind of drug me in there as a sophomore. I played as a sophomore. I think we went undefeated on the sophomore team that year, 10th grade, and then I played for Ray.
Your junior year, you guys went undefeated.
Junior went undefeated.
And actually, the football year for that was 79, right?
79-80, yeah, 79-80,
yeah.
and then 80-81.
And you talking about paving the way for the championship for Jacksonville High School. They were in good shape the first half against Page until Greg got hurt. Couldn't play the second half.
That's the story that Ray's told us before. Tell us your side of it. What was? Do you remember exactly what the score was right before the half?
14 to 14.
Was it?
Tied up.
So it was tied up. Okay.
And somehow we got the ball around midfield, and we probably had 20 seconds left in the half. And of course, I thought we were going to take a knee and be done with it, but called a play of as Ray said, 99 of 99 times he would have taken a knee and decided, oh, well, Greg can throw it that far. Let's go ahead and throw it in the end zone. We got 11 guys there to stop him if they intercept it.
Right.
And he had a lot of confidence that I could throw it 50 yards because I probably couldn't throw it 50 yards. But had a little bootleg, and I got racked pretty good and broke my collarbone in the last play of the game. And I think a boy named Ellis, his brother was a quarterback. I think he went on and played for South Carolina.
Greg Ellis was the quarterback, yeah.
And then his brother was the one that hit me pretty good and broke the collarbone, and that was all she wrote.
I don't know. Was it Greg Ellis? I might be thinking of a different. It was something else. Todd Ellis.
Todd Ellis
That's
was
it.
one
Todd
of
Ellis.
them.
You're Greg Cooper. It was Todd Ellis.
Todd Ellis.
It wasn't the Greg and Greg show that game. But Paige just had an awesome team back then.
They were by far the better athletes than we. I think they had both those. They had two quarterbacks that alternated, and they both threw for over 1,000 yards. They were just super talented.
Were you on the Cardinal team that at halftime where the Cardinals had to go on the other side of the field to come on?
No, I heard that story from.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Ray was telling that story the other day. I went to lunch with Coach Durham, and Junior Devane was in town for his reunion, and Jimmy Milton. He played linebacker for us back in the 79-80 year. And he told that story where they went around there and they threw a flag on. He said, "What's that for?" Because I couldn't get through there.
Couldn't get to
all
the
the people,
field
all the
'cause so
people.
many people. I want to say that's probably the 82 championship game.
That was probably the championship game because it was a lot of people there.
Or the 82 state championship game. And what a lot of people don't know now, of course, you guys lived it. Jacksonville was fortunate enough to host two state championship games.
Yeah.
In 80 and then 82.
That was back in the day where they alternated
Yeah.
places. And we just happened to be in the East, and then 2 years later we played the same team, and of course the '83 team beat them, thankfully.
Right.
So.
And that's wild to a lot of people because can you imagine, say, Southwest and Swain County in '82 or in 2012, one of those teams would have to travel slam across the state.
Yeah. Yep.
And there was many a time back in the mid '80s when Swain County was hosting state championship teams from the East that had to drive and obviously stay the night.
6-7 hours, yeah.
And that's probably one of the worst things you can do to a high school football team is make them stay the night over because kids, they ain't gonna sleep. Phil Padgett, of course, from the days, and Phil had a team that they made the mistake of staying the night before. He said, "I'll never do it again."
Yep.
He said, "The kids, they sleep in their own bed. I don't care if we got to leave at 4 a.m. I'd rather they sleep in their own bed than get up and have hijinks all night."
Luckily, we played at home. We didn't have to deal with the travel.
That's
so
true.
That helped. So.
And then the year in between those 2 years, which it was '81. You graduated in the spring of '81, so it was the fall of '81. You weren't on that team, but they weren't in it. But that's cool to be able to host those two state championship games. Now, tell us the atmosphere that night hosting a state championship against Greensboro Page.
That's something you'll never forget. I mean, that's just.
Did you all spend the night before the game the next day?
They were at home.
We were home.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But not in our own beds. That was the good
okay.
news. It was a lot of hype. I mean, it was a lot of different routine.
Right.
They had breakfast for us and that kind of thing, and all the signs in town were up. And it's just as a 17-year-old, you remember. And I would tell some of those guys now that when they get to a championship game and enjoy it, take it in, and because it's something you'll never forget. Win or lose, but obviously you're going to remember that loss a lot more.
Right.
It was tough.
Well, I'm not sure, but I think the Cardinals probably get a bye a week from today, Friday night, and we'll be home through the playoffs.
They're buying home as long as they win, which hopefully that's all the way to. They've got some alternate sites this year for state championship games, and we're not putting the cart before the horse.
Right, no,
it's just going to be a little different. Used to it was always State, Carolina, and Duke, and now it's
Appalachian. Did I see?
No, it's not App, but
UNC, Wake Forest.
Wake Forest. It was.
There's one site that I never heard of. It's a different stadium, so it's somewhere up that way. I'll have that. We're gonna do a state championship, or not state championship, but a high school playoff preview show next week. So we'll kind of have
do
those
it at
results.
Ficklin Stadium in Greenville.
I know, but and the reason I think Ficklin and then the one you talked about at App, Kid Brewer Stadium. You've been there before.
Right. Oh yeah.
Great stadium. That would be the perfect place to hold a state championship game. Except,
I was thinking there was somewhere different this year they were having it, but maybe it's Wake Forest I'm thinking about. But
that one would be perfect, except the team from the East has got to travel.
A lot of
slam
travel.
to the mountains. But other than that, if it was in the middle of the state, it is the perfect size, perfect setting. It's just a cool stadium.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful time of the year too.
So 1979, you're a junior. Did you start at quarterback your junior year, or were you a different position then?
I did. I think Coach Durham told me the only time he's ever had a quarterback that played his junior and senior year.
Really?
He's always had senior quarterbacks. So he groomed them, and you played in your senior year. So I told him he must not have had anybody that could throw the ball my junior year, because I was a quarterback junior and senior year.
Well, the in vogue thing now coaches do, if they can, is start them their sophomore year.
Yeah.
Because you get that 1 year, you call it not really a throwaway year, because I've seen some sophomore quarterbacks do really well.
Yeah.
And then you've got them for 2 years as your starter.
You got to remember, we didn't throw the ball a hell of a lot. We had Eddie Colson on the team, so
he originated the term or the saying that 3 things can happen on a pass play and 2 of them are bad.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And actually 3 of them are bad. Your quarterback can get injured. So there's even more, Now Eddie is a legendary character.
No doubt.
A legendary figure, wanted to play at Carolina and everything. Is there really a game where he carried the ball every single time?
just about.
I heard it was maybe one time.
Yeah,
Maybe one
was.
time he
Goldsboro,
did.
he probably had 40-some carries,
Yeah.
and he just gave it to him.
That's what Ray said.
He's going to get his 5 yards, and I don't care when you hit him, he's going to get 5.
Ray said somebody asked him why he didn't carry the ball this last time or whatever. She said, well, he had to tie his shoes. His shoes come off.
Shoe came off.
His shoulder pads broke or something. Yeah, he had to be out of the game a minute. But he was the Earl Campbell of high school football. Because, Earl, the Houston Oilers, they cut his shelf life by years by just running him every single play, in the pro game.
I went to the game last week, and with the speed now, those kids now are just so much faster than we were. I mean, that guy I was
crazy.
telling you about earlier, number 2,
Amar
Jackson,
Pearson.
he can just
He
fly.
can really fly,
Now, see,
yeah.
Eddie didn't have any of that speed. He could just run over. He was
He
quick.
had,
He was
weren't-
quick
he
laterally.
weren't slow, but he was
He
more
was
of a
quick
bruiser,
laterally, but he
yeah.
wasn't a breakaway
Yeah.
runner.
Well,
But,
when I was playing high school football, the high school teams today look like college teams to me back then.
Yeah.
You're right.
Just completely different athletes, weight programs, nutrition, that sort of thing, year-round training. So
we didn't have any 350-pound linemen. I mean,
no,
that was
heck, no.
Most of them were maybe at the tops of the hundreds, into 200s a little bit. Yeah. A lot of linemen back then were
my
right
center
at
was
200.
Tommy Morgan.
He was probably
Tommy
about
Morgan,
180. Yeah, exactly.
but tough as nails.
And a lot of times that center would be the one that's kind of the one that gets around a little better, obviously. Now, Tommy Morgan, was he related to Dr. Morgan with
yeah.
him? I figured he was.
Yep.
Was that his son?
Yep.
Or is that his son?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Tommy has been my dentist for the last 50
Yeah,
years.
it's been
Yeah.
he just got a new position at East Carolina
Yeah, he's the,
dental school up there.
Associate Dean of the dental school.
Yeah,
at
how
East
about
Carolina
that?
now.
Congratulations.
So he
Tommy.
followed the family business.
Well, I think he's just sold it, but they've been in that business.
No, what I mean is he followed in the line of his dad.
Oh
and all
yeah,
that.
and just give him back. He's
That's
a
awesome.
great guy for sure.
And the Morgans have been so awesome to the Onslow County area, not just Jacksonville High School, but sports in Onslow County and the
whole
things
family,
they've done.
absolutely.
Yeah. They look out for everybody. Now, tell us about some other characters on the team.
Oh boy.
You're like, where do I start?
As far as athletes, we didn't have I don't think we had the best athletes. We just had everybody was steady. We had a good depth. If I look back at some of the characters on that team, we could go back to
What's the guy's name? Bruce somebody that was a linebacker.
that was after that. I had
Okay.
his brother. I had George Simpson.
Okay.
Bruce Simpson was the '83 linebacker, and he
okay.
was a foot and a half taller than George.
Okay.
And if you ask Coach Durham, George Simpson was probably the best athlete he had pound for pound. He probably was 5'6", 160.
Okay.
And we just knocked the out of
Oh,
him.
gotcha.
Good athlete, running back, linebacker at 5'6".
How about that?
But your characters, we had a lot of characters. Paul Fox was one, and he was just he was our defensive end, and a lot of characters for sure. But athletically, they were all nothing really stood out besides the Colson. I mean, we had good and we had Howard Williams was our. Coach Durham always said our receivers were every bit of 5. Both of them were 5'6". Jody Rucker and Howard Williams, they were both about 5'6". So you had to give me a little time to look for them. I had to find them. But
Water bugs.
yeah, but they were both great athletes. But just a good group. Our junior and senior year, we had a good group of athletes.
Well, you talked about George Simpson. He played with you guys. And then his older brother, Bruce, played
2 years.
I'm your younger brother, actually.
Yeah.
2 years later, was on the '82 team, so he graduated in '83. He was, one of the main reasons they won the state championship, of course. And I love that story that Coach Durham told about him. You probably heard Coach Durham tell his story before.
Turn him loose.
He told him that he had certain assignments, and Bruce was just going and attacking the ball,
Shooting the gap every
a lot
time.
like Bobby Boucher, the water boy. Finally, they just said, all right, we got a monster back. Bruce is our monster back. Nobody else gets to be monster back because Bruce is just going to attack the ball.
Yeah.
And
Coach Durham did a good job managing his coaching staff too, because the coach come over there and told Coach Durham that Bruce ain't listening to him. He's not doing what I asked him to do. He said, "Well, I'll have a word with him and we'll get that squared away." He went over and told Bruce, said, "Just keep on doing
what you're doing and
don't change it."
Make that call
Make
every time.
everybody happy.
Make him
Coach
shoot the
it.
gap every time.
That's
you
right.
feel like you're in control is what he told Coach Collins.
well, so many coaches try to change their people instead of adapting to the personnel. I think he saw them 15, 17 tackles a game, and he said, "Okay, we're going to do something and work around that. Let him still keep getting that."
We also had a linebacker that year. Henry Rowan was another linebacker, and George Simpson was a linebacker. And Henry was one that was just he would shoot the gap every time too. The assignments, I don't think anything. He never
Just
listened
go to the football,
Yeah, he
bud.
went to the football, and he could hit. And
When I played in the '80s too, and back then you didn't have quite as many freshmen and sophomores playing varsity football. Now, if you got a stud, he's going to play.
Yeah,
Used to
that's
back then, they pretty much were JV most of the time.
Yep.
we had very few.
JV
I can't remember anybody as a sophomore that played.
Varsity
Maybe they
ball.
brought him up when it was playoff time. They
Playoff
might have brought
time,
him.
yeah.
They might have brought
Bringing
him
the
up.
sophomores up,
Yeah.
You talked about Devane. Did he play football too? Junior Devane,
Junior was
one of the studs on the team.
Well, he went on to Clemson and won the national championship.
So that's William Devane.
Yeah, William Devane.
Okay, gotcha.
William.
When you were calling him Junior, that's what I was going to ask if he was
That's
related to
William,
William.
William
But that is
Devane.
William Devane, yeah.
We all called him
in
Junior.
the Onzo Sports Commission Hall of Fame here, played at Clemson. Just a great player. You guys had a ton of talent on that team. Like we said, you had the undefeated regular season in '79. We're going to talk more about that when we come back because there's something I want to build off of that. We'll be right back on Sports Talk. Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rainer. We have Greg Cooper as our guest today. Thank you, Greg, for being with us.
Welcome. Thank
Not
you.
a big NASCAR fan, you said, so we'll let you take a couple breaths during this one while
I'll listen.
we run through this. Ashley, you've been around NASCAR game for a few
Yeah, I've been
years.
about 4 races in my life. I
This,
used to
that,
keep
and
up
other.
with it a little bit, before, as you say, the Toyotas and Nissans got involved in it. I mean, I'm the old school kind of guy,
And before they took one body and told everybody it was a
Yeah, all
Toyota,
the
a Ford,
cars
and a
look alike
Chevrolet.
now,
Yeah. And I just hate still that Dodge is out of it. Mopar. I'm hoping that Chrysler products can get back in it here soon. We need to get with
Richard
Harry.
Petty
And,
used to drive a
they're
Dodge
Toyotas,
product.
I think. And that don't even seem American, does it?
Well,
For Richard
nah,
Petty's
you
car to be Toyotas.
Yeah.
What were the tracks you went to before?
I've been to Darlington, I've been to Rockingham, I've been to Charlotte, those three.
Well, one of the travesties in NASCAR now is that Charlotte's fall race, we've talked about it before,
Yeah.
is a road course. How do you go to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the heart of NASCAR, the region, and the center of it?
Woke
and
got a hold of them.
Yeah, I
Turn it
guess.
into a Roval.
A Roval, but hopefully that'll change too. But things are heating up. They only got one race left at Phoenix this weekend. That'll decide the NASCAR Cup champion. It used to be the Winston Cup. I'm not even sure what it
See, it changes every year. I can't
is.
keep
The
up
Cup
with it.
champion. We'll just call it that. The good news is they're scrapping that hokey playoff system and going back to just the points thing next year. Where hey, the guy that has the best year is the guy that wins. So that'll be good for next year. William Byron won at Martinsville, which is another historic track. So he won last week. He's in the driver's seat to go, for lack of a better term, to go ahead and win the championship. Ryan Blaney second at Martinsville. Chase Elliott third. Ross Chastain third or fourth, and Kyle Larson fifth. So the standings, the way I understand it, the top four have a chance to win the championship. You have Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, and Kyle Larson. Those four will be in the running for the championship this weekend. Only one of those four can win. And if that's incorrect, I'm sorry, but that's the way I'm reading it. And like I said, it's so messed up that even when the NASCAR fans don't understand it, it's time to change this.
Well, let me ask you something. Who's leading the World Series, or is it over with?
Well, hold on, let me finish up on that because
Okay.
I want to thank Onslow County Motor Company.
Thank you, Ben Beasley.
Ben Beasley in the game.
He's a racing
for
nut.
doing that. The Dodgers, I think it's tied up, but I'll check real quick.
The game lasted 18 hours the other day, something.
Yeah,
didn't
it was
6 hours, 18 innings.
Tuesday night. The game lasted forever and a day. 18 innings. No, I'm sorry, that was the one Monday night. And
Yeah.
then Tuesday night, they roughed up Shohei, the guy that. And if you're following baseball, he is just phenomenal what he's doing. To be a pitcher in one game, and I'm talking a playoff game, to retire over 10 batters or so, and get the win and hit 3 home runs. One player.
I
Is he
did,
the
watch,
one that-
I did watch that Monday night. And
Is he the gambler? Is that the
No, that's
same
Kenny
guy?
Rogers. But yes, and I did see a thing on Facebook today, as a matter of fact, that showed the back of his jersey, and it showed Pete Rose in the reflection in the mirror.
Come on, man.
And people were saying, how is he allowed to have gotten away with what happened, and Pete Rose is
Not
still
being a Hall of
banished from the Hall of Fame?
And it's done morphed into basketball now, hasn't it?
Oh, it's bad right now. There's
Coach
some,
Nostra's involved in it, all that.
There's some bad
all kind
stuff.
of gambling going on.
do want to thank Onslow County Motor Company for sponsoring our racing report, and like you said, the thing with basketball now is there's some players that are actually facing charges over it, shaving points.
Oh, they've been suspended.
And so say the gambling's everywhere now. It's legal here in North Carolina on games. And say that the guy is supposed to, there's a prop bet that he won't score over 18 points. Well, he's got it right in his hands whether he controls that or not.
That's right.
And all he,
You got the mafia too.
yeah,
Right?
the mafia's involved.
New
And
York-
I ain't
the
talking
four-
about the
the
Bills
four-
mafia. I'm talking about the mafia
You
mafia.
got the four,
Yeah.
four families up in there.
Tony Soprano in the gang.
Some people may start to disappear. You never know.
It's bad stuff right now.
It really is.
And if you watch much football and stuff, there's always these calls that you wonder. Exactly. Al Michaels, legendary commentator, for years has always said. I remember the Dolphins game one Monday night before
He said
gambling was so
something about
big.
it,
He
yeah.
said something. The Dolphins scored a junk touchdown. He said, "Well, half of you are happy and half of you are unhappy."
right.
It was a
Point
game that they
spread.
were already up by
Yeah.
30. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, there's something to it. And I remember a game last year, and well, maybe I am calling him out, but Patrick Mahomes was walking into the end zone, already up a touchdown with 15 seconds to go. I understand the concept of taking a knee so you don't give them a chance to come back. They're not going to score 2 touchdowns in 15 seconds. If he scores, the Chiefs cover, and their fans are extremely happy. And with nobody around him, he takes the knee at the 2. That just was really, It's just kind of slimy looking, you know.
Messed somebody up, didn't it? Messed somebody up, didn't
Oh
it?
yeah, the Chiefs fans, because they bet on their own team. It was like 7.5. It was the spread, and they were up by 7, so that would have covered for his fans. That's just a little out there, but we'll see. It is tied 2-2. The game Tuesday night tied it up. Otani was on the mound, and he got roughed up a little bit by the Blue Jays. It was 6-2. The Blue Jays won back on Tuesday, and they play again tonight, Friday night. That game will be in Toronto. So 2-2. Toronto, kind of holding serve with the Dodgers. A lot of people want to see the Dodgers go down because of the money, because they have such a high payroll.
I'm pulling for Yusevich. He's an ECU pitcher.
Which team's he with?
Toronto.
Is he with Toronto? Okay.
So he'll start, I think, the Thursday night game.
Yeah, I saw that on
Or Wednesday night. Maybe it's a Wednesday night game.
well, probably tonight, Friday night, because tonight's the next game. They
He
had
may start
Tuesday, and
tonight.
then they had a 2-night break. So yeah, it could be that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But he, I saw that on Brian North was talking about on WCTI 12. How he's doing so well this year. Yeah. So let's jump into. We were talking before we left. Took our last break and had our racing report. The 1979 season, your junior year. You guys went undefeated regular season, and you said lost to what was it, Rocky Mount?
Rocky Mountain.
Was that first or second round?
First round? Is that? I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was first round, but might have been second round. I'm not positive there, but we at Rocky
I want to
Mount.
say when I looked it up earlier today, it was second round.
It must have been second round. 'Cause we were on the road the whole time because we went to Richmond County, and Wilson one year. We had to play away at Wilson. I can't remember if it was junior senior year, but we went down maybe 21-0 against Rocky Mount. It was first play of the game. They scored 20 seconds in. We were down 7-0. So it was a long night. So we came back, ended up losing 28-27. Missed a couple of extra points.
There would have been the difference.
That would have been the difference.
Did you go for 2 on any of them to try and make it up, or
I
remember.
know.
Well, if it was
I don't want to
27,
throw him under the
probably.
bus, but our kicker was. I think he left his kicking shoe that day, and I think that got into his
How in
head.
the world
was
We
he a
missed
shoe?
2 extra points, but of course, you can't. That doesn't change the game, but we had other opportunities to win. You shouldn't have got down 21-0.
There you go. That's
key.
right.
Well, was his kicking shoe then a square toe? Was he a toe blower, or was he a soccer style kicker?
Oh, you remember Bobby Simpson? Well, Bobby Simpson had a shoe for everything, and he had me with a punting shoe. So every time I punted, I had to put on a different shoe. But,
Really?
But he did have his kicking shoe.
I
and
got a
guess
question
mentally,
for you. Can you pump barefooted?
Yeah, I guess you could.
Is it legal? Okay.
Of all the ones I saw doing it barefooted, mostly were kickers, though.
Yeah.
The guys that I can't remember the ones that did it, but there was a handful for a while, but you don't see much anymore.
Yeah.
Most of them, I guess, grew up kicking a soccer ball barefooted.
I told Coach Durham the other day at lunch, I was like, I went out and humbled myself last week. I said, I think I can still punt the football. So I went and got 2 footballs out, got them pumped up, and went out to the church field down there in Swansboro. And
How'd that go?
I stretched for about 20 minutes so I wouldn't pull everything, but not too good. I couldn't get one to turn over. I punted for about 20 or
It's
30
amazing.
minutes. and
In your mind, you can still do it, but after execution,
so
it
I
doesn't happen.
humbled myself real quick that I'm not going to cuss those punters anymore right now. So I can do just as good as they could, but maybe back in the day. But it's a different story when you age a little bit.
It sure is.
I remember one night doing the logos on the field, and we found a football out there. It had a pretty good area in it. So one of them little spray can caps and a football, and 5 minutes later, I felt like I'd pulled my hammy.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't take much of that kicking to get old to you real
I can't
quick.
imagine him get my foot and my leg over my head now to begin with. So.
Getting out of bed is a big enough job.
Well, 79, you guys undefeated. An undefeated regular season is special. I don't care what happens, that's special. Obviously, you're conference champs because, you didn't lose during the regular season. It got me thinking, and I went through Carolina Prep's databases on all the teams. 20 times that's happened in Oswego County, which sounds like a lot, but when you figure 8 schools, and, some of them have been playing since the 50s, like Dixon and Richlands and them. Jacksonville, I'm not sure what time they started, but and actually I want to get into that a little more in depth. We do need to take a quick break, but I want to cover some of those undefeated seasons more when we come back on Sports Talk. Hey, welcome back to Sports Talker. I'm your host, Chris Rayner. Time for our Hurricane Watch, powered by Downey's Heating and Air Conditioning. Jason Humphrey and his crew. Thank you to Jason Humphrey for sponsoring the Hurricane Watch for us. We're finishing up our hurricane season, and our prayers and everything go out to all the folks in Jamaica and Cuba and all them affected by that monster hurricane this past week. That thing was bad. I'm just glad that sucker didn't come here now. But all our prayers go out to them. Hope everybody's as good as they possibly can be after that.
And we also want to wish a speedy recovery to Ken Hagan.
Okay. Yes. What did he have going on this week?
Had a heart attack.
Did he? Okay, good. Hopefully he's recovering well and on the mend.
Right.
Another big supporter of a lot of stuff here in
Used to be the voice of the
County.
Cardinal.
Yep. So hopefully, Ken, you're doing better.
Right.
Get well soon so you can see this magical playoff run. Speaking of magical runs, the Hurricanes went out west. They have what we call, you're familiar with the Hurricanes. Greg, you go to some games. You got your Canes on shirt
Canes
today.
shirt on
I
there.
like it. The Hurricanes every year get banished to the west and to the Yukon for 2 weeks.
State fair.
Because of State Fair. They can't play during those 2 weeks. So during that time, they did pretty well, actually. They went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 2. That's not bad for
4 and 2 on that trip.
on that actual trip part, yeah. And then get back home. Struggled a little lately. Las Vegas is going to be a thorn in their side. And I heard Trip Tracy. I guess it was the game Tuesday night. He's the color analyst, and Trip Tracy said, "Well, I hope we don't lose to him in the playoffs." And then Mike Maniscalco quickly said, "Well, if we do, that means we're in the Stanley Cup Finals because they're from the
That's
West."
right, they're
So
Western
I'm
part.
hoping we have that luxury of having to deal with them in the playoffs. But the Canes, they got a game. Let's see, their next one's coming up is Saturday night, tomorrow night at Boston. Tomorrow night is November 1st. Don't seem like it, does it? Obviously, Halloween tomorrow will be November 1st. Does it seem like it's November already? Hollywood?
Everything speeds up when football season gets here for some reason.
And by the way, next week will officially be under the lights because clocks, don't forget this weekend,
Yep.
Fall back.
fall back. So make
Saturday
sure-
night into Sunday
don't
morning,
forget about
fall
that.
back. And I remember when I was employed, before I retired, that was the worst work day because when you left work, it was dark.
Dark.
Every other time, it was fine. But when you walked out at 5 o'clock or 5:30, you
Dark.
look, it's dark. Like, oh.
That means it's getting
It's
lighter
set in.
early, though.
In the morning, but I don't need it in the morning. I need it in the evening. If they ever go to where they change to one or the other, I hope it's the daylight saving time, so you can keep that extra hour. All right, thank you to Downey's Heating and Air Conditioning for sponsoring the Hurricane Watch. Canes play tomorrow night, Saturday at Boston, and hope they can keep progressing as the season goes on. Because you're a Canes fan, you've been to a lot of games. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Absolutely. Just got the injury bug right now. We got
Yeah.
about 6 or 7 guys out, and that's pretty tough. Got a lot of young guys coming up, and it's been a struggle here in the last few games.
And so many times the Canes start the season out and go through all the season great, and then you want them to be hot at the playoffs. So hopefully this year they'll get hot come playoff time, and we can go see some playoff games.
I'm ready.
That would be nice. Want to jump back into our discussion. How much longer we got, Hollywood? About 3 minutes? 4 minutes? 4 minutes. Okay, that's perfect. Want to jump into our discussion we started before the Hurricanes Watch about undefeated seasons in Onslow County. There's only been, we talked about it off camera, 2 that went the full bore undefeated. Jacksonville in 1982, 14-0 state champions.
Right.
Southwest in 2003, 16-0 because they played more games then, and state champions. But regular season, there have been 20 times where teams have gone through the regular season undefeated. I mean, a perfect season, before playoffs.
That just goes to show you how competitive it gets during the playoffs.
So
Absolutely.
there's 2 schools that have never gone undefeated regular season. Anybody want to venture, take a stab at it?
They have never gone undefeated
In the regular season.
football.
Yeah.
White Oak.
No, White Oak did.
Dixon.
In 1974. In 1974, White Oak
Dixon.
had 1 tie, so technically they're undefeated. Dixon is one of them.
Richland.
And Richlands, yeah. And Richlands, I remember in 2003, probably one of the best teams they ever had. They went undefeated through 10 games. But you played 11 games in because of the endowment game. 11th game was Southwest, who happened to have their best team. So that's kind of bad luck. Other than that, they probably undefeated that
There's
year
a
for
big
the
question
season.
mark about Richlands this year. I mean, I'm surprised they beat Dixon last week.
Yeah, that was really crazy. Out of the blue, I think most people picked Dixon and then Richlands is up and coming for next year, getting things lined up for next year. And I say next year, but from my understanding, pretty much everybody's going to make the playoffs in Onslow County. That's just the way it is because of RPI. And when you start playing each other and get a high RPI, you can have only 3 or 4 wins and still make the playoffs. So we'll see how it shakes out. Playoff bracket will come out this coming weekend, Saturday and Sunday, somewhere along in there, and we'll find out who everybody gets for the next week. Looking at the other ones, though, Coach Eason at Northside actually had 2 back-to-back undefeated seasons, regular season.
Right.
2007, 2008, and then 11 and 12. Lejeune.
That's when they were 2A, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Lejeune, you have to go back a little further. 1960 and 1967 and 1961, the legendary Tom McGee. Y'all have heard that name.
Yeah.
He was the coach back then. And it was so funny, and I got to throw this in because when I was looking at the 68 team, to make sure everything was undefeated, they played a team called the Oxford Orphanage. That's
I've
the
heard
name
of
of the
that.
school.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's the team that eventually became Oxford.
It's still up there, I think.
It's the high school now, but it's not, probably the orphanage. Swansboro even had one in 1970. Now, Swansboro and White Oak, their 2 undefeated regular seasons did have a tie in both of them. The legendary Ronnie Ross, you've heard that name from Swansboro.
Oh, yeah.
He was the coach in 1970 for their team. Jacksonville has had 6 undefeated regular season teams, stretching all the way back to 1977. Coach John Green. Thank you, Billy Grissom.
Hall of Famer Billy Grissom with a VLT, buddy. Thank you, man.
Back to Coach John Green, and then all the rest were under Coach Ray Durham. Obviously the Cardinals this year, a whole different animal, just a great season they've had. Ray Durham had undefeated regular seasons, as you know, in 79. Obviously 82 with that state championship team, 85 and 86, back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. Then Southwest has had 7. The first one was in 1980. Coach Stefano was there when you were there. That was your senior year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
No, your senior year. Coach Stefano was the coach before he got in his, that accident, of course. Then Coach Padgett took over in 87, and had 6 undefeated regular seasons. I would think we've talked to him before about the one season that probably was the biggest disappointment to him. 1991, ranked number 1 in the state, 10-0.
Who?
Marcus Jones.
91.
Yeah, 91.
Okay.
Marcus Jones, the top lineman in the country, and they lose first round to Rosewood. That just shows you that how precious our undefeated regular season is, and how, like you talked about with Rocky Mount, you guys were cruising that year.
It's difficult for sure. Yeah.
And he had in 93, 95, 99, 2003, of course, that was the state championship team. In 2009, all undefeated regular seasons, but just didn't transfer over into the playoffs. So it's a tough thing. We
To
talk.
go undefeated, it sure is.
It is, even for the regular season.
Heck yeah.
Much less the entire season. And then you have teams that win state championships with losing a couple of games just because of the teams they played. And that makes you pretty much, forged by iron, they call it? Yeah, for the regular season and the playoffs. So we're going to take our last break. When we come back, we'll start off with This Day in Sports and then finish up with a lot of more Greg Cooper stories. We'll be right back on Sports Talk. Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rayner. It's time for This Day in Sports History. We're going to have Greg Cooper, a legendary Jacksonville Cardinals quarterback. He hates when I say that, but man, some of those stories in the days, it's true, man. Thank you for being with us, Greg Cooper. We also have Ashley Moseley with us today. And behind the scenes, of course, Chris Hollywood Man, the
Legendary. Chris Hollywood.
back there spinning the records and all that stuff, you know.
Playing the hits, baby.
That's right. We're going to do This Day in Sports History, October 31st. All this stuff happened on spooky Halloween at some time or another. Let's rewind the clock and relive some legendary sports moments that happened on this day, Halloween, at one time or another. We'll go back all the way back to 1943. Washington Redskins, Slingin' Sammy. Remember him? You know where he's from, Sammy. No, not Sammy Baugh. I'm sorry. Slingin' Sammy Baugh torches the Brooklyn Dodgers with 6 touchdown passes and a 48-10 blowout. And I think that was the record for so long until somebody finally got 7, either Brady or one of those guys. Actually, it might have been Drew Brees. But 6 touchdowns in a game. Did you ever have a 6-touchdown game, Greg?
I have 6 all year.
But you didn't throw the ball but about
That's right.
20
Six
times
times all year.
There were probably some games where you didn't throw it 6 times, did you?
No,
Yeah.
that's probably the average.
That's the Coach Durham grinded out system. All right, get it.
Airing it out.
1950 for us. You got 1950, Greg.
The Big Cat, Earl Lloyd, makes history, becoming the first African-American to play in an NBA game, debuting for the Washington Capitals and dropping 6 points.
The Caps. They were the Capitals. Then they became the Bullets. Now what are they now? The Washington Wizards, I guess.
Wizards.
Yeah. It just ain't quite the same. The Bullets was a good name for them. All right, Hollywood.
Let's see, 1988, it's Monday Night Football's first ever game in Indianapolis. The Colts crush the Broncos 55-23.
55-23. It's like a basketball game. What's the biggest total y'all remember scoring in a game, point wise?
I would probably say in the 40s, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because of the run offense and stuff?
Just, we ran the ball every play.
Nowadays, you see some of these games like where they've been 75-68.
No, we didn't have any of those.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
1987, jockey Chris Antley rises into the record books. 9 wins in a single day, 4 at Aqueduct, and 5 at the Meadowlands in New York.
Oh, sorry.
In a
I
single
missed that
day.
one.
Well,
Sorry.
that's fine. But in a single day, that had to be a tired. Obviously, it wasn't the same horse, I wouldn't think.
I don't
That
think
joker be tired running 9 races in one day. All right, in 1992, the Breeders' Cup at Gulfstream Park delivers a day of champions. AP Indy, Lure, Phrase, and more all gallop into glory. Greg?
1994, 14-year-old Venus Williams makes her pro debut, stunning the tennis world with a straight sets victory in Oakland.
She was pretty good, wasn't she?
Here's a good one for Hollywood. Jump on this one, buddy.
Okay, bro.
All right.
1999 Hollywood. You got it, buddy.
1999, Mika Hakkinen
Hakkinen.
clinches his second straight F1 World Championship, edging Eddie Irvine. There you go, got that one.
Irvine.
Oh, I missed it. Darn it. Eddie Irvine in the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuki.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. I knew there was a reason why I didn't watch F1.
People love it, though,
Steve
right?
Goodson loves Formula
He
One,
loves
but
it.
yeah,
he loves it.
I'm just still old NASCAR guy.
Yeah. 2014, legends take their place in Cooperstown. Greg Maddox, Tom Glavine, Frank Thomas, Bobby Cox, Tony La Russa, and Joe Torre all are inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Well, you talk about some big names there,
Which,
buddy.
by the way,
and look
Pete-
at 3
Pete
of them are
Rose needs to
Braves.
be in it.
I agree. But 3 of these guys here were Atlanta Braves at the same
Yeah,
time. Yeah,
uh-huh.
Bobby Cox managing.
Tom Glavine.
And remember that. Did you play baseball too, Greg?
No.
Remember that lineup though? They had the starters. You had Greg Maddox, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, and Avery. What was Avery's first name? Whatever it was. Anyway, you had those 4 at one time.
And Frank Thomas is still making money selling that stuff on television.
He is. He's selling testosterone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you talked about Pete Rose not being inducted in. I just wish it could happen in his lifetime where he knew about it. And I've heard rumors. You never know. You never know what you read on the internet is true or not. They say his family's going to say no if they ask because he should have been inducted while he was alive.
I don't blame him. I mean, come on, man. That'd be slap in the face, really. To be honest with you,
I agree. He didn't even pull the routine that his interpreter made the bets for him. You know
I
what I
know
mean?
he played 110% every time he stepped on
yeah.
a baseball diamond.
You just don't be called Charlie Hustle for no reason. His name weren't even Charlie. Charlie Hustle. That was his nickname.
Yeah.
All right, in 2015, in the Rugby World Cup final at Twickenham, Dan Carter and the All Blacks dominate Australia 34-17 to claim back-to-back world titles. But did they have an undefeated season?
I doubt it.
All right, we've talked about that. We're going to jump back into high school football. We're going to jump back into, let's see, late 70s, early 80s high school football. How was it different back then? Obviously, the equipment was different, jerseys and stuff. You've seen the jerseys now. It looks like it's molded to them. Back then, you had those mesh jerseys and the...
At some point, we had some tear-off, the tear-away jerseys. If you remember the day back in Leander Green's day. And, I remember seeing him against Goldsboro. First guy that touched him ripped his jersey off, and he ran about 150 yards to go 70, and dove in the end zone, and then they missed the extra point.
Now, how far ahead of you was Leander?
I'd say 6-7 years.
Yeah, because he was like mid-70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Phenomenal,
an athlete. He was an
yeah.
athlete for sure.
Went on to East Carolina and starred there. Just there's been some really good quarterbacks come through Jacksonville the years. Now, who replaced you when you graduated and was the 1982?
Well, Elliot Johnson came in the next year. Elliot was when I got hurt in that championship game. He was thrust into, and he was I think he might have been a sophomore at that point, but he was the quarterback. And then the next year he played, and then Ron Golden was the quarterback.
That's the one I was trying to remember.
The '83 team that won it. Yeah.
So looking back to 1980 football season, the 81 school year, but 80 football season, that injury right before halftime, we've talked about it already a little bit before. They said Coach Durham came over, I guess, to the team doctor or whatever, and was told, I guess, your collarbone, right?
Yeah, broke the collarbone.
Which is very painful. And obviously it was your throwing arm, too.
That wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, exactly. A collarbone is one of those that heals on its own.
Yeah.
It's not something you go get surgery. Usually, I don't think. But it's very painful.
Painful, and just anytime your hips move, your shoulders move. So it was different. But yeah, once that, I knew I wasn't going back in, and went to the hospital, came back, and I was at the hospital listening to the radio, and they ran the kickoff back. And
here at Onslow?
Yeah. And so I got back, and it was 28-14.
So they ran the second half kickoff back right to start with. It's almost like the demoralization that just started right there.
Air came out. Yeah.
Was that game played here in Jacksonville?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was back when state championship games were held in either the East or the West, and they alternated. We talked about it a little before. Jacksonville was fortunate enough to host it in 80. I guess 81 when they didn't go to the state championship game was somewhere out west. Probably Page again because they had that dominant run. And then it was Page again in 82.
Yeah, just coincidence. We were the same two teams, and it just happened to be in the East. So
same place.
Same place. But they got us one time, and we got them one time. And
so Greensboro knew where to come.
Both games were here. Yeah.
Greensboro knew the way to Jacksonville, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they stayed overnight both ways or both games. Do you remember anything about that? Coach Durham would probably know because I'm sure he had to help with logistics a little bit.
I'm not sure if they spent the night or not. They made a drove since it was 3 or 4 hours, but.
That was back in the day when you didn't go on your phone
we didn't have phones.
and made a reservation for a hotel. You had to call and take care of it. And I'm just wondering if they did come back then, where would they have stayed?
The Holiday Inn.
Yeah, the old Holiday Inn right there by the Thunderbird and all that right downtown.
We actually had our breakfast at the Holiday Inn that morning. I told you we had different things going on and kind of a distraction, but we had breakfast the morning of and at the Holiday Inn.
I bet that Friday it was impossible to concentrate in school, wasn't it?
It was a lot of distractions, and I think that's what's tough for the coaches to keep the players' minds on the games when they're that young. And it was a big time. It was very memorable for sure.
And that was another change back then. It was still on Friday nights.
Oh yeah,
yeah, the state championship games. Now they'll have like one on Friday night, and then the rest are usually on Saturday. The day after. We went a couple of years ago. It was 2 years ago, wasn't it? When Clinton played Reedsville and got sideline passes, through the station and everything. And I'm down on the sidewalk. I've been telling this man a little bit. I've told this story before, but I want to tell you about it. We're down on the sidelines, and I'm over in the corner, just kind of watching. And I look over, there's Ashley right next to the Clinton coach. on the bench almost. So, I think he gave him a couple of trick plays to run, didn't he?
Well, he needed some help.
Yeah, because Reedsville was tough. They're going to be tough again this year. They still got that 6'6" stud that everybody wants in
30 years
basketball
old.
and football. Well, it seems like you've been there forever, don't it?
Yeah.
I guess when you're 6'6" out of middle school, you play probably all 4 years nowadays. And back then, do you recall any players playing as freshmen?
No.
Some sophomores,
Well,
very
we
few.
had ninth grade. They weren't even in high school then, so we had.
Oh,
we
that's
had
right.
10th, 11th,
It was called
10th,
junior
11th,
high-
and
junior
12th.
high school.
Junior
That's
high
right.
school was 7, 8, and 9, and then sophomore year was the first year in high school.
Okay, I didn't even realize that. That's true. When we were played, it changed a little bit when we played in 85 was my senior year in football, graduated in 86, and we were at Southwest when they had 7th through 12th grade.
Right.
So, but the 8th, 7th, and 8th was considered junior high, like you said, not middle school. And then the 9th and 10th were mostly the JV.
7th, 8th, and 9th was junior high, and then
That's right.
10th, 11th,
That's
and 12th
exactly
was
right.
high school.
And I've seen it more nowadays than it probably did back then, but JV is not reserved for 9th and 10th graders.
No.
If you're a junior and you're not quite varsity level, they could play you back on the I guess a senior too, but probably not.
And back then, a lot of towns had 2 high schools. Wilson had Wilson Red and Wilson Blue. We had Goldsboro Junior High School and Greenwood Junior High School for the people who went to Seymour Johnson crowd.
Now, which Onslow County schools were around then? You had Jacksonville, obviously Richland, Swansboro, and Dixon were still here.
I think Northside was a big. When Northside came, that took a lot of talent from
Yeah.
Jacksonville. 'Cause they
Well,
split-
didn't
split that
Southwest a
area.
little bit too because of
Oh yeah, that was
when it started in the
Southwest was
70s,
just
yeah.
that was right there, my first year, probably
Yeah.
79, 80s when they started. I guess high school at
Well, that
Southwest.
pen and them maps can dilute a lot of things.
Yeah.
we've seen that in politics a little bit. The pen making the maps different, and
School
it's
districts as
school
well.
districts too. So basically, at the bridge there by downtown is where the Jacksonville district stopped. Now I'm used to it. Went on over out into the county some. So give us some other before we go. Give us a couple other things you remember about that great run you guys had.
Well, like I said, it was just a good time. The coaching staff was really. You look back at the coaching staff. We had Bo Williams' father was
Chip, yeah.
Chip Williams was a coach, and we had Coach Gid Johnson.
Okay.
Gid
Johnson was a coach, and we just
Legendary coach from
Lonnie Baker.
Georgetown days.
Lonnie Baker was helping.
Lonnie Baker was the offensive line coach at Goldsboro High School when I was there.
Yeah. Brian Aldridge was at his
Okay.
first year. So you think about all those.
Aldridge was at Jacksonville. I didn't
He
realize
was
that.
his first
Wow.
year. His first year he came. He was probably 22 years old.
Lonnie Baker's from Kinston. He played when they were the Red Devils. He got kicked out of 8 out of 10 football games his senior year for fighting.
Well, you think of those coaches right there, those 4 coaches, they all won state championships
Yeah.
somewhere. So we had a pretty good coaching staff for sure.
Yeah.
But just memorable times.
Any
and,
close games? Any competitive people that you had to beat in there to get in that position to play for the state
just,
championship?
Who was your
just in
biggest-
basketball. That
Oh,
that
yeah,
little guy,
I do-
that
I
little
do-
guy in Wilmington.
I do
yeah,
want to
that's
talk
right.
about
That's
that a
a
little
great
before we
story, man.
go.
Tell that story,
You,
yeah.
you mentioned that before we started. You mentioned that you played basketball too in the era of some fella from Wilmington that
and Michael Jordan guy
ended
he
up
wasn't-
being
he wasn't
pretty
much
decent.
to
Yeah.
him.
A lot of people would love to be able to say they played basketball against Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it's
And you guys whooped them too, didn't you?
We did win our junior year. We beat him. I think Junior Devane made 2 foul shots with no time left, and we beat him at Jacksonville. And I think that was the only time. But my sophomore year, I'm the same age as Jordan, and I made the varsity here, but he did not make the varsity when he was a sophomore. But I played against him my junior year. Then I was hurt my senior year.
Not many people can say they even played against him.
Yeah.
Most of us beat him.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he scored 10, and I scored 4. So
I don't
net
care. He's
6
still on
and
the same
bad.
team. Though.
Well,
That was a quarter.
we talked about before. That's one of my favorite Jordan stories of all time. About he did not make the varsity his sophomore year, which
Right.
he was a good talent, but he just weren't quite there yet, according to the coach. And my favorite thing about Jordan is and I stole it off Facebook. It's nothing that I created. His mother didn't tell him to transfer schools.
Yeah.
She didn't tell him, I'm gonna go down there and cuss out the coach and blame the coach. You just need to get better,
Get
son.
better. Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
And
Much better.
drastically better. So that just shows you work at it. You don't have to enter the transfer portal every 30 minutes, and
He was very talented, but he was his big time was, I guess, his sophomore year at Carolina when he really turned it on. Of course, he was a better pro than he was a college player.
He had one pretty good shot as a freshman.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
And
pretty
got him
good.
over the hump.
And the old expression is, who's the one man that can hold Michael Jordan under 20 points?
Dean Smith.
Because it's not in his system to let a player, score
that
40
many
points a
points.
game. So good times.
But
And,
we had other good athletes in that. I know we had Anthony Teachy that went on at Wake Forest, and Linwood Robinson and Cecil Exum went on to Carolina. They played at Southern Wayne, so they were all in the same conference. But we had a heck of a conference, but Jacksonville really wasn't that competitive.
And remember, Cecil Exum was supposed to be the next Michael Jordan, or right there with him, and
Nowhere
just
near.
didn't quite develop.
Nowhere
not
near.
quite like Jordan did.
Yeah.
He doesn't still get $20 from every pair of sneakers that's ever sold with Cecil Exum's name on it. Anything else you want to add before we go?
No, that's about it.
Man, it's been great having you. I want to do this again sometime, maybe over the off season, and get Coach Durham in here too. We tried to do it today. He was tied up today. Got a busy week going on, obviously. So we'll try and work that out for another time. You guys still stay in touch and have lunch.
Still
and
stay
stuff,
in touch.
don't you?
Had lunch with him last week, but I'll tell you what, he was a hell of a coach. He taught you a lot. Just a great coach, and
He really is.
he's
Old school guy, man. Love him.
old school, but he's really meant a lot to me and a lot of people, a lot of younger players as well, young people that played for him, and I thank him for everything he did for me, for sure.
Great.
Well, we want to thank you, Greg Cooper, for being with us. Thank you, Ashley Moseley, for co-hosting today.
Thank you,
Do
buddy.
you want to do our sponsors before we go? You do them so well if you want to do them. I got them right here. He knows. That's the thing about Ashley. Not only are our sponsors, every one of these persons he has dealt with and just has a great relationship with. So you know him more intimately than I do.
Well, I do, and first of all, we could not do this without these folks.
Exactly.
They've been a big help pitching in, not only here at WSME radio station, but the entire community as well. Most of them support other athletic schools and events throughout the county. So, I'd like to thank National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, the officers of John Drew Warlick, Bob Warlick, who, by the way, did a great job last night during the game.
Yeah.
Express-
Always does. They've had a good year.
They really do. And, Coach sat in last week. Bob had to go to a convention. Did an outstanding job. Him and Jerry did last week.
Bob
again.
figured it was time to get back so he didn't get replaced.
Yeah, because Coach's really good at this.
Yeah.
Express Printing, Myron Cross, Golden Corral, of course, Billy Sewell, with a location here on Marine Boulevard and Greenville Boulevard in Greenville. Dr. Gina Francis at Bayshore Animal Hospital in Swansboro, who's a 1976 graduate of Jacksonville High School. She's a cheerleader there and went to school with Phil Paget. CNS Paint, Ron Shote, Victor Case, Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957. Again, thank you, Brad and Susan at Bradley's Jewelers for the beautiful Pandora jewelry that Hollywood gave to the homecoming queen last night. It was very, very nice. Rock Creek Golf and Country Club, Rick Morton deserves to be in the Jacksonville Onslow Sports Hall of Fame. I know
Voting time's coming, so we're going to work that.
we're working on that. Superior Metals and Structures and Concrete in Beulaville, they're everywhere. You see their billboards. They promote a whole lot. You got billboards everywhere. They're also a sponsor on the Blitz with Brian North, along with the officers of John Drew Warlick.
And before you move on from them, I saw a billboard of theirs on the other side of Raleigh the other day, headed west. And because they're so well known that people even out there are called. It was up there near Mebane somewhere. Yeah.
His son played, Rodrigo Sanchez, played on the state championship team with East Steuben a couple of years ago.
That's right.
Your Touchstone Energy Cooperative is Jones Onslow EMC. Downey's Heating and Air Conditioning, thank you, your buddy Jason Humphrey, for doing the prognosticator thing, as well as the, is it the Hurricane Report?
He does a Hurricanes watch too, yeah.
And the baseball stuff.
And the baseball stuff. And when the 2 months that is not Hurricanes hockey season, he does baseball too, yeah.
Dr. Hampton Hadley, chiropractic, right there on Gum Branch Road. He's a Palmer graduate. Jones LP Gas in Verona. Remember, today you can get your gas cylinder filled for $11. Southern Touch Painting. Our buddy over there, Roger Carroll, and his Shelby, they do a great job of pitching and helping the athletic program here in Onslow County. Sandra Fountain, right there at Fountain Management, along with Lisa Thornton. I get to see Lisa's husband every once in a while over there at Onslow County Motor Company, Travis Jack Thornton.
Travis Jack.
Sounds like a pirate, doesn't it?
Travis Jack.
Our buddy Ben over at the Onslow County Motor Company for the race report, thank you so much. Land Associates Family Dentistry, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry here in Jacksonville. Bartley Insurance Services, our buddy over there, Bill Mercer. And congratulations, Drew Mercer, for finishing second and Dancing with the Stars last Saturday night.
Wow.
And Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, Tommy Duff, thank you so much. The Racing Report is fueled by Onslow County Motor Company, Ben Beasley. The Hurricane Watch once again is powered by Downey's Heating and Air. And special thanks to Helen's Kitchen and Billy Grissett for keeping the crew well fed. And please forgive my eating during the show. I was my sugar was getting right funny. I had to have something to eat. But anyway, you can catch the podcast, relive today's show and years of past Sports Talks episodes at the Sports Talk Experience, available on YouTube channel WSME Radio. Contact Hollywood at Facebook at freedom971.com, online WSME971.com, or give them a call 910-346-2248, and go Cards.
Playoffs start next week. We'll have the brackets out. We'll have our playoff preview show next Friday. So make sure you tune in for that. We'll also have Halloween tonight. Watch out on the streets tonight for all the ghouls and goblins and boogers running around trick-or-treating.
And we'd like to thank Greg Cooper again for coming on, buddy. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having me.
Finally to meet you, buddy.
You're like us. You're looking forward to seeing those brackets come out and seeing what the Cardinals draw. Should be a first-round bye, to the best of my knowledge, and then we'll see where they line up in the second round.
That's right.
Home field.
Home field all the way through. We'll see you guys next week on Sports Talk.